There's a new moral correctness called positivity. What once functioned as a personal disposition, optimism, hopefulness, encouragement, has quietly hardened into a moral mandate. Positivity is no longer something one cultivates, it's something one is expected to perform. In this new moral economy, emotional tone becomes a proxy for virtue. To be positive is to be healthy, faithful, safe, mature. To be anything else, sad, angry, fearful, grieving, ambivalent, is increasingly interpreted as failure, weakness, or moral deficiency. This shift has consequences, not benign ones. Let's look at positivity as moral compliance. When positivity becomes morally correct, it stops functioning as encouragement and starts functioning as compliance. It subtly communicates good people feel hopeful, mature people regulate quickly, faithful people don't linger in distress, healthy people reframe. Under this framework, pain is not something to be understood, but something to be corrected. Lament becomes suspect. Anger becomes pathology. Grief becomes something that we got to move through quickly so it doesn't inconvenience anyone. The problem is not positivity itself. The problem is positivity without permission for truth. Now let's look at the harm to self, the internalized invalidation. When positivity is moralized, people learn to mistrust their own inner experience. Instead of asking, what is this feeling telling me? They ask, why can't I get past this? This produces several predictable outcomes. Emotional suppression masquerading as resilience, shame layered on top of suffering. I shouldn't feel this way. Delayed grief and unresolved trauma, which reemerge somatically, relationally, and compulsively. The nervous system does not respond to moral pressure, it responds to safety. Forced positivity keeps the body in a state of quiet threat, smiling while braced. Over time, people lose the capacity to discern between the regulated and numb. Now let's look at the harm to children, emotional confusion and insecure attachment. Children learn emotional truth not from lectures, but from attunement. When adults insist on positivity, children receive a distorted emotional education. They learn certain things are acceptable, others are not. Sadness makes caregivers uncomfortable. Anger risks disconnection. Fear should be hidden quickly, reframed. This does not produce emotionally strong children. It produces emotionally vigilant ones. Children raised under compulsory positivity often grow up unable to name their internal states, skilled at performing okay while feeling unsafe, prone to anxiety, people pleasing, emotional shutdown. Attachment security requires the simple message, all of you are welcome here. Moralized positivity replaces that with only parts of you are welcome here. Now let's look at the harm to relationships, disconnection disguised as encouragement. In adult relationships, moral positivity becomes a relational solvent. It dissolves depth while appearing to be supportive. Statements like, at least, just focus on the good. Everything happens for a reason. Often function less as comfort and more as exit ramps for empathy. The unspoken message here is your pain makes me feel uncomfortable and I need to resolve it quickly. Over time, people stop bringing their real selves into relationships. They share outcomes, not processes, victories, not vulnerabilities. The relationship remains pleasant, but thin. This is how loneliness thrives in emotional busy rooms. The irony of positivity undermining joy. Here is the paradox. When positivity is enforced, joy becomes fragile. Real joy emerges after reality is faced, not bypassed. It is the fruit of integration, not insistence. When sorrow, anger, and fear are denied, joy has no root system. It becomes performative, brittle, easily shattered by the next loss or stressor. Authentic joy requires permission to grieve. Authentic hope requires permission to despair honestly. Authentic faith requires permission to doubt aloud. A healthier alternative, emotional truth with regulation. The corrective is not negativity, it is truthfulness with compassion. Feelings are informed verdicts, not emotions are signals, not sins. Regulation follows validation, not correction. Positivity, when it is earned, rather than demanded, becomes sturdy. It can sit beside grief without crushing it. It can coexist with anger without silencing it. It can hold fear without shaming it. That kind of positivity doesn't harm, it heals, but it cannot be coerced. Call Dan Cross for counseling appointments at 918-844-4148 or get my books on Amazon, Fully Christ, Thorn in My Flesh, and Rewired for Joy by Dan Cross.